Yeah, now stand and cheer for your Talking Basketball podcast.
Hello, welcome to another edition of Talking Basketball podcast. I am Mark.
I am Paul, and that was a bloody good one.
That was a good one, wasn't it?
That was perfect in almost every way.
What would make it more perfect?
I don't know. It was almost beyond reproach.
Fair enough. That's good. Anyway, this week we're going to be talking. We've already been talking on one episode. If you haven't gone and check that out, go check it out. Although this one may come before the other one, so who knows? Just you got to listen to all of it, basically.
Hang on. I ain't done this in a long time, Mark. Whilst you're introducing this show,
Yes.
I got a little treat for our listeners. I got some Irish crickets coming up. Hang on.
Irish cricket's nice. Well, anyway, what we're going to be talking about now is there's a lot going on in basketball. So we did something with the UK, but we're all going to talk about the NBA. And for those who are listening at a random time at the moment, it is mid-May 2025. So if you're listening in the future or a couple of weeks out or whatever, we are going to be talking about the NBA and the playoffs, because it's been a pretty good playoffs this year. I wouldn't say I've been blown away.
Well, here's my little gift for old time's sake. Some Irish crickets for the listeners. There you go, some Irish crickets.
I didn't know Baby Sham made that noise. So, for those who are not up to speed.
No, if you're not up to speed, I've got a cause in front of me. Lovely.
But if you aren't up to speed, that's the point to listen, turn off, because we don't want to give anyone who's not listened.
Yeah. And
So, Eastern Conference, Western Conference.
you're going to do an update where we are.
Wow. Pacers. Let's go Eastern first. So Pacers are through. 4-1. 4-1 they swept the Cavaliers. That's ridiculous, isn't it? Like the Cavs were on a 65-13 season or something crazy like that.
And there were some great games. I mean, there was that one of the was it game 5, the Halliburton steal drive down the end. It was like, damn. Yeah. But you know what? I'll say this after you've gone through the games.
No. So, I mean, that's probably the big one.
So game 6 of New York Celtics is what? Tonight as we do this.
Game 6 is tonight in Madison Square Gardens.
That's going to be insane.
Yeah.
That's going to be nuts.
It's 3-2 to the Knicks at this point. If they get it in, it's the first time they've got through. Why did you have to do that? Since the year 2000.
I wasn't actually laughing at that. I was laughing at the fact that I can hear our children screaming outside in the garden.
Wow, they're burning that energy off.
Yeah.
That just means a better bedtime for us. Not us, like us, but us as in parents. If you're a parent, you get it. Burn that energy off before they get into bed. But this is the first time that the Knicks will have gone past this stage since the year 2000. 25 years the Knicks have waited to get part of this.
That's great.
Spike Lee is literally going to have a heart
great.
attack. Can you imagine? Like, you don't even watch the game; just watch Spike Lee on the side. He will be having a fit. He will be there in like the most awesome Spike Lee New York Knicks outfit possible, and he's going to be going insane. I think they already shut down 7th Avenue. I think it was. Like they said, they shut it down for the Knicks in the last game when. So this.
That is just inspiration for Boston,
New York
isn't it?
Wow, you say that, but Tatum's out. Tatum's had his Achilles.
Hey!
And I love the fact that Brunson, the first thing he said on the press conference, where he's like, "Hey, sorry, no, before any questions, I hope JT's all right." And that's respect, and I like that because no player wants to see another one getting an injury. Doesn't matter if you like him or not. No one wants to see anyone get injured.
But I want to just shout out Jaylen Brown. He thought we didn't notice, but we did. His punch to the his testicle grab. I saw that.
Oh, I had that written down. I was going to say, that's right up your street, isn't it?
Testicle foul right there.
Why would you do that?
Just went for a quick reach around during a game.
Josh Hart, wasn't it? Gave him the old squeezeroo. Like, what was
We
happening?
need to establish never to do these podcasts on a Friday night when there's alcohol involved, Mark.
Look, you've only just opened it, so I'm just saying.
But I know.
It could only get worse. This is going to go into depravity. But yeah, so the Eastern Conference, that's huge. And on the West...
Didn't Jokic do a really hard punch in the balls once? I swear he did. That was on again. Was that against the Pacers, maybe? I can't remember. But yeah, he went full swing. No, that was... I want to say that was an international game. Maybe I'm wrong. Either way...
Well, I think you're right, actually.
There's not enough punching and bollocks in basketball, Mark.
We don't want it. That's why. But look, so the East is looking immense. I mean, Indiana already locked in.
Yeah.
And it's going to be New York or Boston. It's likely at the moment it's going to be the Knicks who take this. Boston are going to have to... Look, Boston have got a great team. And look, Tatum is leading their team, no question. But, you know, you've got so much depth and talent in the Celtics. You could be crazy to rule them out. But they are going to be playing in Madison. So it looks like they've got to tie this. They're going to be under a lot of pressure. One of their main guys is out. I don't know. Let's take this straight to the West.
It would be great for New York to do that.
That'd be wonderful.
Because, you know, you're one of the biggest franchises in the world.
Well, I've got something on.
And like you said, they haven't been there for that long. When was the last time they actually got to the finals?
Don't know about finals, but it was the year 2000 was the last time they got through to the conference finals.
Year 2000. So we're talking Patrick Ewing days.
Yeah.
This is where it bounced off the ring. No, was that against... that was against the Pacers, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. When he drove in, the game was... The Knicks were down by 1 or 2.
Might have been.
Patrick Ewing gets the ball, top of the key, does his little turn, goes straight through, little...
It's the year 2000, so it's literally 25 years.
I think that's the year against... And it kind of hit the back of the ring and bounced out. So that's what we're talking about.
I mean, yeah.
What a tactical eating your crisp, Mark.
That was perfect, wasn't it?
Muting that mic.
Yeah, I love it.
But yeah, so, but off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you the last time they got to the finals. You must be talking 70s?
80s.
But this is what is great. There's so much history here because the Pacers famously got to the finals and they lost against Houston. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah.
And then they never got there again because it was always going up against New York or
Chicago.
Detroit.
New York.
It was Detroit. Because you're talking about Madison the Palace.
Yep.
And that's probably what you would argue is the moment where Indiana had the best team.
You got to remember John Starks and Ewing and stuff against Chicago as well, because when you had, I think it was Anthony Mason, they went from one team to the other. That was a big deal. But anyway, this is where it gets great. So Western Conference, the Timberwolves beat arguably the people that a lot of people thought were going to win it, Golden State.
Can I make a point? It's a shame that the injuries have influenced these playoffs. So obviously you got Jason Tatum, but you've also got Steph Curry. I don't know if I'm going to add LeBron to that, but
no, that was an injury after they didn't even.
He
qualify.
was on a night out afterwards when let's just say it was that.
That was at the point when everyone knew that they were dog shit, and then they basically went, oh, never mind.
And what I will say is I thought Anthony Edwards showed his absolute class when he made the statement, I've beaten Golden State, but I haven't beaten Steph Curry.
No, that was good, wasn't it?
And that was a really good statement he made. And, you know, it shows what his respect is for Steph Curry. But look, I mean... It's insane. Right. That series was insane.
That was a brilliant series, but 4-1. And you know, everyone's been pointing fingers. Steph going injured, but what happened to Jimmy Butler? He was supposed to be Jimmy Playoff. And everyone raved about him when he was in I think it was the lockdown, and then with Miami at first point, the last 2 seasons at Miami, he was sort of treading water a little bit, and then he went out to was it this season? He went out to Golden State in that trade. And everyone thought, oh, there he's going out for, and they're going to get playoff Jimmy, and turned up. So for Butler,
I feel that's a bit harsh, but yeah, okay.
No. But he's earned his reputation for being playoff Jimmy. He earned that reputation, and he just he didn't show up in that one, which was a shame.
It's
for
an
him.
aging team, and you know what? It would have been great if the Golden State Warriors could have had their last dance. That would have been great to bow out gone.
Exactly, and that means Jimmy Buckets gets he gets a chip as well. I think he deserves it. I think he's a great player.
He's not got one, did he?
No.
The Lakers beat them.
Yes,
Miami.
That's what I'm saying.
In the Disney bubble.
On that, that's what I'm saying. So on that basis, he left Miami. And that was, remember last season when Pat was saying players who aren't playing shouldn't be talking to the media because Jimmy was giving it a bit of lip, and Pat Riley doesn't take any of that. He doesn't deal for that. So then Jimmy's gone over to Golden State as if like, this is I won't say a ring chase, but you get to join Golden State. It's a good chance. And he didn't take it.
Yeah.
So, or it didn't take it. They didn't make it. And I don't think it wasn't. Yeah, they're an aging team. Did you see Draymond's foul the other day? Like he practically clotheslined the guy, took him down with a reverse. I mean, he's a lunatic. It still doesn't stop. They're just getting old. They've just pushed past that point now.
I do think, I know the point you're making, and I do think that sometimes he gets called fouls that are maybe for an aggressive movement, but aren't actually fouls.
I know,
and you've seen it in this series. It's been called for a few things. It's like, what? And he even called some of the referees out, and he got his like 50, 60 grand fine for it.
Yeah, he did. No, so I stand with that, and I agree. He's a physical player. The problem is
he's now got a reputation. Like, bam, it's Bill Lane Beer.
Yeah, of course it is.
Bill Lane Beer against the Lakers.
100%.
They're going to call that hook shot not because of there is no foul, because of the 10,000 fouls you've done before.
So we're talking about those big games. The other big game is going to be Sunday, May the 18th. Wow.
I mean, we're Game 7. Game 7 now.
Thunder Nuggets. I
really hope the Thunder win.
Okay.
You were talking about what they've been doing in the arena with the color coding of the T-shirts and stuff, and that looks brilliant.
Yep.
But you know what I absolutely love about the NBA playoffs this year?
I mean,
New York. They haven't been in the NBA Finals for how long? Indiana Pacers haven't been in the playoffs for 25 years. Minnesota Timberwolves. Have they ever? Of course they have. No, they haven't. Have they?
With KG, they've been up there.
Yeah, but in the finals?
Nope. Don't believe so.
No, I don't think they have. And then if you get the Oakland Thunder.
Oklahoma
City. So what did
Thunder.
I just say?
You said Oakland.
Sorry, Oakland.
You're still trying to represent California.
It's because we were talking about Oakland a minute earlier before we started recording. But you got the Thunder, and they've never been in there. Oh, no. Or have they? No, they have. Probably like 15 years ago when you had Durant there.
Durant, Paul George. It was Durant, Westbrook, and...
yeah, they got there a few years.
Oh, come on.
But they didn't win
Harden.
it.
And James Harden, yeah.
But they didn't win it.
Made him.
Did they get to the finals? Or was it conference finals?
Conference.
Look, I can't remember.
Conference,
but
I want to say.
That is, I hope the Thunder win that Game 7 because then you've got four. It is the NBA model of what you want, isn't it? What Adam Silver wanted. You're not got the big franchises.
I'm going to give. I think it was Sports Illustrated. I think it was them. I'm going to give them credit, or Bleacher Report. One of them who did a picture of exactly what you're talking about, and in the picture, they had. It was a simple 4 people lined up, and it had Tyrese Halliburton. It had Jalen Brunson. It had Anthony Edwards. And then it had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Yeah?
And they're going to get their
And it put one of these guys is going to win their first ring.
I mean, how romantic is that?
That wasn't the word I was going for, but yeah,
But
it's brilliant.
It's amazing.
Silver's going to love it.
Yeah, and that's what's great. Like Anthony Edwards, and leading the Wolves, the Wolf Pack.
Let's lay another one on.
That is great.
The game on Sunday.
The Lakers are old, and the Lakers were old, and they folded.
I think we can both agree we want New York to win and get rid of Boston, because that'd be amazing for New York to get this far, because they've never got that far in 25 years. So that would be amazing for them.
Let's just see how many testicles Jaylen Brown tries to hit.
You've got to remember
in this game.
Who are the current champions? It's the Celtics.
Yeah.
So if the Celtics, the current champions, then go out, that's a big deal on its own.
Look at their win ratio without Jason Tatum. He is the most unappreciated, one of the most underappreciated players in the NBA.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's a total all-rounder, and he's definitely a team player. But let me throw this to you, right? I read somewhere.
Throw it, Mark.
I want to say it was Reddit, so someone else can have the credit. But they said, and it made me properly laugh, made me think of wrestling. Someone said it's Game 7 when the Thunder are playing the Nuggets. It's also the two people who are joint MVP, basically, in the MVP race. SGA and Joker. Someone said they should hang the MVP.
Yes.
The MVP award just up the middle of the ring, and whichever team wins it, at the end of it, that person, if Oklahoma wins, Shai just goes up and gets it. But
Mark,
yeah,
I apologize,
I think
Mark.
that would be amazing.
We've ordered a pizza. My pizza's here.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to do a pause and see if there's a way that I can do a seamless not and start. Let's see. Now, I think it should have cut perfectly seamlessly that most people wouldn't have noticed. But what they will not notice that you're stuffing your face. So that's good.
Barbecue pizza, meat face.
Ugh. So, not only having those 4 new people in there, but having MVP, either Shai or Joker is going to be making it. And so I love the idea of one of them just going, right, there we are. You're now the MVP. Whoever wins that game, they are going to be the MVP of the season. So give it to them now. I mean, that would spur you on if you were going to the finals, to be fair. But then you look at it and you go, New York, Minnesota, Indiana.
And Thunder.
And Thunder.
I'd like it to be Thunder.
What, like...
I mean, New York have won... How many titles have they got?
You know what?
I want to say 2.
I genuinely don't know. I know one of them was with...
Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
He had 2 there, I'm pretty sure. So I would put my money and say maybe there's something from the 50s or something. I don't know.
No. I think that the Knicks were pretty much 70s. That was their,
Indiana.
that was their
Have
time.
they ever won it? Are they a franchise that have won it before?
No. Obviously Thunder haven't either, because they're new. And you know the Thunder are, obviously.
Yeah.
Although Thunder technically have won against their name.
No, that doesn't count. You can't say we won it in Seattle and we're in a different town now.
In 79.
That don't count.
In 1979, when we didn't exist. But yeah, apparently.
And Minnesota, they've never won it either. So,
won it.
I mean, I love that, because there's always this sense with the NBA, Lakers, Celtics all the time. And then you get these questionable trades where it's like Luka suddenly goes to the Lakers and all that. Oh, and now Dallas have suddenly got the number 1 pick.
I was going to say, we didn't bring that up.
I don't think it is rigged. I generally don't think it is. But
God bless you.
It's
that's what they want.
It's always built up for that, isn't it? It always feels like that's the kind of thing. So that's what I love it when there's 4 teams. Well, let's see what happened with Denver. I do think Denver will. My gut is thinking Denver will win it.
So,
but I do hope Thunder do it, and then there's 4 teams. It's like awesome. This is what is great about it.
Yeah, I mean, Thunder have got a really nice young team as well. Last year they did well. They just didn't quite get over the edge. Now they have. it looks like they could get into that conference final. And I think it'd be. They play some good basketball. It's exciting to watch. The crowd get behind it. It's you can get into that a lot. And so this Minnesota, they're all teams that historically people maybe overlook. So that's what's really nice. The Knicks is the interesting one because obviously it's the second or third most bought jersey. Is always a Knicks jersey, and that's purely because it's New York. It's the that's where everyone goes on holiday. So people will go to MSG and buy a jersey, and they'll get one. That's why the Knicks have got such a huge fan base in that respect. It's not anything else because of their talent. They haven't been good since like the 70s. Maybe the 80s.
Yeah, no, you got to talk about, you brought up Starks, Ewing, and that team.
Yeah, Charles Oakley. You can't, you're not messing around with those guys.
They were an insane team.
Yeah,
and you know what?
Like Starks got under Jordan's skin. I mean, who does that?
Yeah, I mean, this is an era where they were going up against possibly one of the greatest teams ever assembled.
Yeah, of course.
And then they were going up against possibly one of the greatest ever teams assembled in the Indiana Pacers. It's
there was a thing with Ewing recently, and they were like he was walking down the street or something, whatever. And you just forget, like, he's 7'1", he's a unit. Like, Ewing's a big dude. When he came into the league at the time, everyone was like, "What is that?" Because you had David Robinson, who's a tall guy as well, but Ewing's just wide. He's powerful. It's just, yeah. So it'll be great for New York. It's really, really good it's good for the NBA, and it's good that LeBron's out and he can't moan that he didn't have a team. He had one of the best players. So if you've mentioned on it, let's just do this quickly. The draft. 1.8% chance that Dallas were going to get picked.
It's like the
number
lowest
one
ever, isn't it?
And they managed to get in somehow that draft, purely off the back of trades or whatever. And you go, what is the odds of it?
There's a few that I did think, hang on, like Dallas finished the league 9th, was it?
Yeah.
Or 10th?
Yeah.
No, they didn't even. Did they get in the play-in? I can't remember.
No.
So they must have been 11th.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Well, when was this? So this is in the 80s. The Boston Celtics won the number 1 pick.
Yep.
After winning the championship, after winning the playoffs, and they got the number 1 pick, and it was a guy, and he ended up dying.
Oh, yeah.
For an overdose. I'm trying to think of his name.
Look, Orlando Magic.
When you're talking about odds, I think, hang on, how could the championship team, that's got to be more.
Orlando, let's remember, they've won the number 1 draft 3 times. To the point that the first time they did it, and everyone was like, this is insane. And then they did it the next year in a row, and you're like, this is crazy. And then they went and did it again. You're like, what's the odds?
So who's that?
Orlando Magic. They've won the draft 3 times as number 1 pick. And you look at them and you go, how? Like, they're a team that's only been... There's teams that have been in the league way longer. They've been there since like 90s, early 90s. And they've got 3 out of a possible...
Len Bias.
32.
That's the guy's name. The Boston Celtics drafted Len Bias with the second overall pick. That's why we're not talking about that as a stat.
No.
In 1986, he tragically died 2 days later from a cocaine overdose. But imagine you get the number 2, you get the number 2 pick, and you just won the championship. But
the championship team, and then they pick you number 2. He partied a little too hard there, clearly. And celebrating going to Boston. Oh, someone has to. But yeah, look, apparently they're going to have Cooper. Apparently they're going to get Cooper Flag. He's gone to the combine. He hasn't.
Mate, he's amazing. I've been watching some of his games and highlights and stuff like this season. He is a unit. He's
6'7". He's a big guy.
Trade proposition for you, Mark.
Well,
a hypothetical trade proposition for you.
Right.
Let's just pretend in this moment that I'm Nico.
Right.
And I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you, Mark. I'm going to say...
I'm trying to not punch you in the face at the moment. Carry on. But you're Nico, aren't you? So.
Cooper Flag.
Yep.
For Luca. Yes or no?
No, you don't do that.
And he goes, there you go, Dallas fans.
You don't do it. Because if you do that, the only reason you've binned off Luca is to save money. And that just shows you you just don't do it. Luca's gone now. That's it. Move on. That's the end of that. It's like the way everything was done with Dallas. There's no fan across the sport who would disagree with this. It's not that it was traded. It's the way it was done. The fact that the guy just bought a house, the fact that the guy was committed, the fact that they used excuses like he was lazy and not committed to Dallas and not committed.
That's BS, isn't it?
And all that. That's the bit.
And you could see it hurt. Luca.
Yeah.
They hurt him.
Oh yeah,
trade.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that he dropped 45 and he's just looking at Nico every time he's dropping one. You go, it's just like a perfect finger. Now, did Nico Harrison act on his own? If he did, then the owners are lunatics for letting someone like that have a charge.
What
the reality is
Nico is trying to get trades to get Cooper Flag in the Lakers. What would you do if that starts circulating?
I don't think it will. It can't. I think what the biggest one that they're talking about at the moment with Dallas is it was either KD going to Dallas. That was one. Who else was it? There was someone else they were saying going to Dallas as well instead. And you think,
I got another trade for you.
What?
AD.
Oh!
AD.
Yeah. No.
And KD.
No. Giannis.
To Lakers for Luca.
No. No, it was Giannis because Giannis is looking. He said he's considering his options now.
But didn't someone was it in Golden State just acquire the rights to his brother?
No.
Where was that?
Dallas.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So Dallas got the rights for his brother off of Houston, and his brother was the one who played in Panathinaikos, I think it was.
Right.
So he's a good player. I'm not going to be rude and say better than his brother, but he was better than Giannis' other brother, shall we say? But Giannis is like considering options now, and it's fair because Giannis likes where he is. He likes Milwaukee, but he wants to be competitive and he wants another ring. And Milwaukee actually, factually, they have no trades left. They've given loads of stuff away because when they went to get Dame Lillard, thinking that Dame was going to bring the piece that they needed, unfortunately, the pieces that they got rid of to get Dame means they've got no cap space, they've got no room, they've got no trades left, and they're like locked in with that team.
I've got a question, hypothetical question for you. You are now an NBA player.
Yeah, of course.
And you're one of the greatest players of all time, Mark.
That's the only way I'd be.
Yeah. And you're in the twilight of your career. Let's say you're equivalent to LeBron James.
I'd be like the guy Brandon Fraser plays in Bedazzled.
You're going to be doing Jaylen Brown kind of moves. Anyway, right. So let's say you're on serious money because you're an absolute superstar. Yeah?
Why would I not be?
And this is my point.
Yeah.
Would you sacrifice that money, the millions that you're going to earn, to give them the capacity to use that?
Yes.
If you know what I mean.
Yep. So
these players are turning around going, yeah, I'm getting mine.
No. So okay. You say that. Credit to James Harden. He did that. He took
but not many players, is my point. They just go, this is my time.
Oh, yeah.
You hear it. I'm getting paid.
Oh, yeah, of course I do. But a lot of them now, like, for example, Jaylen Brown, was it 316 million contract that he signed? Yeah.
Yeah.
When he gets to year 5 and he's going to get another contract, he'll be like, yeah, I'll take a 50 million contract or something. Because at that point, he might be like, I'm done with it now. I mean, he's earned crazy.
But let's say LeBron took a lot less money.
He did take less money for this last contract.
Why does he need money for? If he just says, just give me $1 million a year. Done.
No, there's contracts that they're not allowed to. Part of their thing is because they've played over a certain amount of time. Who is it? Joe Ingles for Orlando Magic, for example, the Australian player. Because he was playing in his 10th year, 11th year, whatever, he could command like an 8, 9, 10 million salary. And you go, okay, is he worth 8, 9, 10 million? He's not a bad player, but at the same time, they can't say, oh yeah, you can have 1 million.
Can you see what I mean?
It only gets to a certain point. Yeah,
like
it gets to
Damian Lillard. You brought him up.
Yeah,
he's on a significant salary.
It's crazy.
If that wasn't there, would he have a few chips potentially? I don't know.
Well, you got to think.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, so
I'm trying to give.
But here's the thing, right? Dame wanted to go to Miami. He wanted to go to Miami, and then he ended up going to Milwaukee. Right? He's been at Portland for like 10 or 11 years, so he'd done his time, and he just didn't do anything in Portland because it's Portland. He was the star.
Do you know how
who
many
took
times
them through to the playoffs and nothing else?
Portland through my goddamn sweepstake to be let down by them.
Yeah, because like he on his own was hitting all the shots and making all the plays and stuff, and you go, that's fantastic. But as soon as they got other players or stuff around them, you suddenly realise, yeah, he can hit big game. I mean, Dame time is the thing. He is a big shot maker, but when you got a team with other experienced people, it just didn't work out. So, you see it all the time when you have players who are really good caliber, but you put them all together. And this is across all sports, isn't it? Like footballs and stuff. You go, all these players, they're the best in the world. You put them on the same team and they'll play. It's like they can't play together. Actually, and then you'll get someone like Oklahoma, where there's a lot of youngsters, and they absolutely gel and they play like one of the best teams. Same with Minnesota. They're doing the same thing. And there's no coincidence that it's a team game. And that's why, I won't say the old heads, but when people go back to the eras of the Jordan eras and the eras of the Wilt and those and or the Lakers and those sort of things, yes, they were amazing teams and the Pistons and stuff. But it was a team. Like no one would expect Rodman to score. No one's expecting Rodman. There's a brilliant thing where it says these are all the games he played in these playoffs. Like 0.002 points. Like he didn't score.
Yeah, but he's got like 28
rebounds,
yeah.
30 rebounds. And he was the most destructive, annoying, wind up, physical, massive guy. Like they couldn't have won without him. They physically couldn't have won those other three championships without him. And yet no one goes, oh, he didn't score enough points. You go, I think he's not there for that.
Dennis Rodman is one of the greatest examples, one of the greatest examples for the youth of the world to just understand that scoring isn't everything.
No.
I know so many young kids. Everywhere you go, you see the young kids and like, yeah, I got to score 20. I know National League players. Oh, I got to score 20. I got to score 20. Or I'm crap. I'm terrible. And you think, look at Dennis Rodman, one of the greatest NBA players, Hall of Famer of all time. 0 points, 2 points. But you look at his rebounds, look at his offensive rebounds, look at his assists, look at the impact of what his presence on the court does. I mean, I think that speaks volumes, but yeah.
Yeah. So, look, it's brilliant what's happening in the NBA at the moment with these 4 teams. The Nuggets might tip it. You don't know. I mean, you do.
I think the Nuggets, I think Nuggets are favourite now.
Well, Aaron Gordon has pulled a hamstring, but they reckon,
has he?
Yeah, he pulled a hamstring, but they reckon he's going to be okay.
Okay.
But they still. But he was like holding the back of his hamstring, and I was like, "Ooh, that's not good." But
I love
his
the
game
idea of
is
New
all
York
about
winning.
athleticism.
I love the idea of New York winning. I love the idea of Indiana winning. I love the idea.
There's not many people
of Anthony Edwards.
There's not many people who would have put Cleveland losing to Indiana. There's no one. And Indiana absolutely bossed them around. There's not many people who would have gone Boston against New York. Oh, I don't know. Like no one's going to be putting some of those down. So they just wouldn't have thought, oh, New York is strong, but Boston will just roll them. And now it's like it's 3-2 to New York. Last game in like tonight. That's going to be
Well, it's happened for 30 odd years. We've had the Portsmouth Fury NBA sweepstake, and it didn't happen this year. And I think it didn't happen this year.
Insider trading.
I know the person organising this.
Insider trading.
Will be listening to this right now. And I think the reason he didn't do it is because he knew of the thousands and thousands of our listeners who were going to come and put their sweepstake in.
Yeah, I mean, that was
going to be a prize of like £1 million.
Could I have put OKC in? Maybe at this stage, yeah. Would I, but have them going through, having the Wolves go through against Golden State. Golden State at the end of the season were really strong.
Yeah.
They were really strong. Then Steph with injury and stuff, you look at and go.
I definitely would have Lakers going out first round. But yeah, Golden
LeBron's
State.
washed.
That's the romantic team, I thought, for me, and it would be like, that would be great if they do that one last. Steph gets his 5th, Draymond Green gets his 5th, Steve Kerr gets his 28th or whatever he's on now.
I want Steph to get his 5th because then
I think he's done now. He's done now. Did you hear what Steve Kerr said to Draymond Green? I mean, you're talking all the same class. He was like, you had an amazing season. Please come back next year. That was the last words Steve Kerr said to Draymond Green as he went off the court. And it's like, you know what? The time is coming. The sun is setting on that team.
Draymond's an old dog now. You can see him. He's old. Steph.
They shouldn't have lost 3-1 to Cleveland. Look, like that was their 5th. That's their 5th right there.
But when Steph, like you see him running around the court, he's so fast. Still.
Yeah,
it's like
these guys look old now. You watch him run. You watch LeBron run. They look old. Enjoy it because they're not around.
I will say longer. I saw a great meme, and I think everyone's been very harsh on Bronny.
What are you talking about? He's one of the greatest Los Angeles Lakers of all time.
Nepotism is around the world with everything.
American listeners, that is called sarcasm.
Yeah. But there was and he's had to step in. He's got his dad's LeBron, so that's tough as it is. And then he's trying to step into that. But they literally, there's a meme going around, and it says when LeBron retires, and then there's a kid who's like sleeping on this little bunk or whatever it is, and these two guys come in, and they're obviously like trainers or something, like get up, and they're like, this is how they're going to treat. Yeah. The Lakers are going to treat Bronny the second that LeBron retires. They were like, get out.
When LeBron retires,
it's a father and son double deal.
They both retire. Yeah. They might give him one more season. I don't know what is in his contract, but it's
they perpetually put him into.
They're just going to go. There
G
you
League,
go.
aren't they?
We did that.
Look, he's doing well in G League, and when he comes up and does stuff with Lakers, he holds his own. You can't. None of us, any one of us who's listening, we couldn't hold our own playing against him. That's the reality. He's a good player.
I think I could, Mark. That's how bad he is. You know what? Who is good though is the second son. What's he called?
Oh, I've got to get this right now.
Well, whoever the one who's going to be joining the NBA in like a year or two. Him.
Bryce.
He looks like he can play. I watched something.
He wears the old Kareem glasses as well, doesn't he?
Yeah. So he was playing in the other day, and like one highlight I saw of him actually just popped to mind. Do you know Vince Carter's dunk over a 7-footer in the Olympics?
That's right.
He tried that in a game.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
and it was like, I mean, it didn't work, and LeBron was in the crowd laughing like, "Oh my god!" But it was like, that is that kid's mindset. I'm going to jump over you and dunk it in your face.
It was an optimistic go.
I love that. I love that.
Do you know what? I love the idea. I think it was a little bit too crowded, that the D when he jumped in, but the key was very good. But yeah, I love the optimism on that. But
so let's see. Maybe we're going to do the next podcast for the NBA in the final.
I think we'll do it. See who's going to. I mean, look, it's a talking point, but I thought it was worth us doing one today on there. We know because we're not trying to do weekly updates or anything like that because it moves too fast. There's too many games, but.
And also, we do have lives, but it's so difficult to do the updates that we want to do, and our listeners want us to do.
If we were paid full time, we would do a podcast every day on all the games and watch them all. But
anyone who wants to sponsor us full time to do podcasts all day, I will do it.
Yeah, we'll watch the games. We're happy for you to pay us to watch basketball. We're
No problem.
But the reality is that when we're doing all those things, this could be pretty historic if we've got those 4 teams going through to that conference. That would be really good. And and if SGA gets the Thunder through, he rightfully deserves to have the MVP. If Joker gets the Denver Nuggets through, he deserves the MVP. That's what I would say.
Okay.
And the last bit of news that we have.
Yes.
Michael Jordan is apparently going to be part of NBC's presenting.
Oh, yeah, I did
next
hear that.
season.
Yeah.
And someone said, whether it's true or not, I don't know, because it's, you know what it's like. It's social media at its finest. Someone lies and then it all just goes around. But someone had said that Michael Jordan said, I hope LeBron's retired by the time I start presenting, or something like that, or words to that effect. And you think, I mean, what's he going to say about him? But I don't think any player historically would want Michael Jordan commentating over how they've been playing the game. I don't think anyone would.
It depends how much lighter he is nowadays, isn't it? Because, we learned from The Last Dance that he's brutal. Are
you kidding me? Have you seen the clip with the guy who won his NASCAR, the NASCAR thing, and the guy walks through that? He's really recent, and he has the trophy. He goes, "Hey, our big dog," and he gives him because Michael Jordan's quite big in NASCAR now. He's got his own team and everything like that, right? So he gives him the trophy, the winning trophy. And he's like, "Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's a good start, kid." He's just won the trophy. Michael Jordan's immediate response is, "That's a good start."
Yeah.
If that is not the underlying, that's how competitive I am. It is a well done.
Remember the words you said to Ray Allen?
It's a good start.
Remember what you said to Ray Allen? Ray Allen was like, I think they were playing golf or something, and he was like, "Hey, Mike, I got my chip. I got my chip." And Jordan turned around and went, "Okay, cool, but talk to me when you've got 2. 1 is luck. Lots of people have got 1. When you've got 2, then you can talk to me." And it's like,
wow.
Ray Allen was like, okay. And then what did he do after that? He goes to Miami.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. Do you want some other rumors on the street, Mark?
Do it.
Talking about commentating, that we are potentially going to be commentating in the GBBL Professional League coming next 2 seasons. Let's get that rumor going around.
Holy shit.
Let's get that one going around.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people talk about that.
We're going to be the face of commentary for the GBBL. We're not.
So,
But we would be.
hey, you
We're
said
quite
about
happy.
talking rumors.
Hey, why not?
I didn't start that rumor.
Just what I heard.
I'm voicing it.
Just what I heard.
I'm voicing it. I didn't start it.
Well, so ends another edition of the Talking Basketball podcast. Thank you very much for listening. Go check out our socials. Go send us a load of rubbish. And have a great day. Thanks for listening. I've been Mark.
I'm in Paul. And it's beer o'clock. Ciao.